I didn't see a lot of interest in the bird, so let's do the rose. By the way, the bird is super cute, and it takes like it takes no time at all. So if you want me to do the bird, I'll put the link in there. My daughter said that he looks like an angry duck, and for some reason that makes her like him even more. So I might actually take my little bird. Don't tell her. I actually already told her. I might take my little bird and make a little square, and then I might make a second one and then make them into little coasters for her because she likes the angry duck. It's just the way that the eye turned out. It made him look like he was frowning. But anyway, so he is really like the easiest thing in the world to do. You basically just make a magic circle with double crochets. And then on your first one, you do like this fan, kind of like we did before. And then you just single crochet around, make his little tail. It's super easy. I will put the link in the description. Once you've done a couple of things in the round, they all start to kind of make sense, and then they all seem the same. Okay, so this guy is a little bit different. What's great about roses is they come in all colors, so it doesn't really matter what color you use. So we're gonna start with a slip stitch like always, or a slip knot. And then we're gonna do 26 chains. And it said to leave a really long tail. I should probably leave a longer tail than that. Because what you're gonna do is after you're gonna make a long thing, we're gonna roll it up and we're gonna stitch it all together. So you wanna have enough on that tail to be able to stitch it all together. Okay, so 26. Okay, so that's 26 right there. And then for row 1, we're gonna do 3 double crochets in the 3rd row from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna go double, double, double. So that's all in the same stitch. It makes a cute little tiny fan looking thing. And then we're gonna go, we're gonna single crochet in the next chain. So that would be this one that looks all wonky now. We're gonna single crochet right there. And that just kind of anchors that fan. And we're just gonna repeat that all the way across. So these do, because you're cramming so much into a chain stitch, it does get to the point where it's kind of hard to find it. So just remember on chain stitches, you always want it to be like one single loop, single loop, single loop on the bottom. So wherever the next single loop is, you want to put those 2 yarns that are on top up above. So hopefully that made sense. So grab that, and this is your single crochet. And you're basically just making these little fans and anchoring them as you go. See how that's all like squished together now? That's actually the stitch you want to go into for your next double crochet, so you kind of have to like make it happen. Okay, getting down to the end here. There's 2 stitches left. We're gonna do our fan in this one. And then that last one, we're just gonna slip stitch into it. And if you want to put an extra knot, you can, if you feel like that would make it more secure. So I don't know why they make you do a long tail at the beginning, because you really could do a long tail at the end. it doesn't really matter, I guess, but either way, you're gonna be working one of them in. So see, this is what you end up with. It's just like this long row of little scallops. We'll work the short part of this in really quickly. And I'll just do it TL Yarn Craft style while we make it as easy as possible. And then remember to skip that one and go back the way you came. Pull it so it doesn't get too tight on there, and then go ahead and snip off this one, the end one. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and thread our yarn, our long tail, and we're gonna basically curl it in on itself. And this is kind of cool because you can actually make your heart be, or your rose be really tight, like a rose bud, or you can make it more open like I did. Totally your own preference. You can have, obviously, when you see a bunch of roses blooming, most of the time they're all in different stages. So it's kind of, if you're going to do a cluster, it'd be kind of cool to do them all in different stages. So, and you basically just, this part's all going to be the back that's going to be sewn down anyway. So there's really no like perfect way to do this. You can do it however you want. Just use those little loops on the bottom that were on the chain and sew it together. And if you feel like that's not strong enough, you can go through the other ones. It's not going to matter because nobody's going to see it. It'll be down on the bottom anyway. I am definitely not the world's greatest hand sewer, and so if you are not either, do not stress. It's going to be fine. If you are really good at it and you're appalled at my technique, I totally get it. Nobody taught me how to do this part. I just did it myself. The great thing about sewing on crochet is there's so many yarn threads that it's very easy to hide your stitches. Nobody's really gonna see it. So unless it's like a contrasting color or something, then you might wanna be a little more careful how you do it. But if it's all the same and it's on the bottom, it doesn't really matter, to me anyway. Okay, so in here, you just wanna kinda, that's your last little nub there. Put that in there and then just knot it off. And then just weave in your ends however you want. Or you can just leave the tail and you can end up using that as your, if your tail's long enough, you can actually use that to sew it down onto something. Save yourself a little yarn and time. I probably should make sure that it looks cute before I finish it off. There you go. Everyone's roses will look different depending on how you like to sew things together. Clearly I have a style because those look almost identical. So anyway, that is the rose. They're super easy. They're really fun. You can make a ton of them. You can put them on anything. And actually, if you want to make little smaller ones, you can, I mean, you can put them on purses and little headbands, and they're like super cute. Let's do the leaf to go with it. Click here for the leaf pattern. Okay, let's do that. Look, it's like just one thing, super fast. So we're going to do our slip knot. We're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to love how fast this goes. Okay, on row 1, we're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. 1, 2. Pull it through. Pull it through. That's your slip stitch. Single crochet in the next chain. So that's this one. HDC in the next chain, which is half double crochet. Oops. Wrap once, go through, and then through all 3. DC, so double crochet in next. Oh, gotcha. Okay, double crochet in the next chain. 1, 2. And then we're going to do 4 double crochets in the next chain, which is the last one. So one, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's 1/2 of your leaf. I lost my screen. That's one great thing about people who have videos on their page is that that video keeps the screen from shutting off on you. It also kills your battery. So, okay, so we're going to turn slightly. So this isn't a full turn. We're just going to go to the other side of the leaf. So like so. And then we're going to continue working in the bottom of the foundation. So those little loops there that are the bottom of the foundation chain, that's what we're going to work into. And we're going to double crochet 3 more, so 7 total in that same chain that we were working in, so which is right here. I don't know if you lost track of it, but it's right here. But we're just going to do it on the bottom half of that chain now. So 3 more. Oops, 1. Oh, I don't like how loose that is. 1, 2, 3, and see how cute that is. One of the things I was thinking about doing was paisleys. I couldn't find a good pattern for a cute paisley, but they're like my favorite things in the world. So I may have to make my own paisley patterns, but it's basically kind of what you would do right here. So the next thing basically is we're just going to go back the way we came. So we're going to double crochet into the next stitch, which is the bottom loop right there. You're kind of sharing it with this other double crochet on the opposite side. And then you're going to half double crochet in the next one. Just mirror what you did before, and then you're going to, do we do single crochet? I believe that we single crochet. And then we're going to, look, I was like automatically, oh yeah, I just kind of automatically worked that in there. And then see, right, remember here we slip stitched across one chain. That's what we're going to do again. So we're going to go into this top part right here, and we're going to slip stitch that. And that creates your leaf. Isn't that cute? So then I am going to just knot this with a chain. Pull that through. This original guy I've already kind of worked in there, so I'm just going to make him go back the way he came. Because I just was crocheting over the top of him, so he kind of automatically got worked in there. So we're going to skip this one and go back the way we came. Don't even have to go very far. But you have to figure out what side. There we go. And if it ends up getting pulled tight, you can pull it back out again. If you want, you can go down the other side. This one, if you can find it. There we go. This way. And then, don't lose the point on your guy. And then go back. Ta-da! Done. So seriously, you can make little roses and leaves all day long. They're so cute. Put those all over you want, all over your blanket. There you go. Okay, what's next? Shall we do a heart? Let's do a heart. Okay, so this is like the world's easiest heart. I actually made it more complicated by adding stuff onto the outside, but just because I wanted it to be two-toned, you can leave it as the original heart and just have it be solid, and it's totally fine like that. So let's go in. If you haven't already gotten hooked on Pinterest, this is literally where I put everything so that I don't have to print it. I don't have to like try and save it and come back to it. I just come back to it on Pinterest. So, okay. Start with a magic ring. We're champs at magic rings now, right? Let's do, I'm gonna do another one. I might make these into something. Okay. So magic ring, in case you forgot, instead of doing a slip knot, we're just going to pull that loop through and don't pull this. And then you're going to anchor it with a chain. So that anchors that loop so that it doesn't like fall apart in your hands. And now we're going to do, actually they want us to chain 2 to start on this one. So there's your chain 2. And then we're going to do 15 double crochets in this ring. It's going to be fun. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. This is my favorite part. That's 15 double crochets plus the chain up, which we're not going to count. You're gonna slip stitch into this, which is the first double crochet. So we just pull this. Some of these bigger ones, sometimes you have to pull them a little tighter to get them to close up. And if you feel like they're coming apart, you can always just kind of sew it together and knot it in the back so that it's more secure. Usually once you get to this point and then you weave in your ends back there really well, it doesn't come apart. But if you want to feel like you're a little bit more secure, then you can always do a little extra knot back there. So I'm not going to do that. We're going to do it into the first, not into the chain 2, but into the first top of the double crochet, which is right here, and slip stitch that just like that. So now chain 2, 1, 2. The thing about doing these cute little guys is that you probably want to have your instructions. It's not like when you were doing your squares, and your squares you can just go, oh, I know how to do a single crochet now. I don't need to look at instructions. I'm just going to go with it. But when you're doing these little guys, there's so many different, it's kind of nice to have the instructions right in front of you. So one DC in the same stitch, especially with this heart, because like every single stitch is different. And then, okay, so there's 1 DC in that stitch. The next one, we're gonna do 4 triple crochets. So remember, triple crochet is you wrap it twice. And we're gonna do 3 more of those. Oops, twice. Okay, next, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, or 1, sorry, and then 2. My brain gets ahead of my hands. And then half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So that's when you set up for a double, but you pull through all 3. So 1, 2, oops, 3, 4. Now we're going to do the point of the heart. See, you can see the heart forming right there. Okay, so we're at the point of the heart, and we're going to do a double crochet, a triple crochet, and then a double crochet all in the same stitch. Ready? Here we go. Double, triple, and a double. Okay, you've made the point. Ta-da! You're halfway through. Now we're going to do those 4 HDCs up the side. Basically, we're mirroring this side. Four, and then if I remember correctly, it's going to be 2 double crochets on the next one. And then 4 triple crochets, and you can kind of see that you're ready. You're lined up exactly how many stitches you're supposed to have, because we have the 4 triple crochets, the 2 double crochets, and then we're done. Right? So oops. Okay, so I moved on. I lost my, I was thinking as I was crocheting. So I finished those 3 or 4 triple crochets in that one stitch, and I'm starting the double crochet in the next stitch to finish it off. Oh, actually, they don't want you to do 2 double crochets. They want you to do 1 double crochet, and then they want you to chain 2, which is basically exactly what we did over here, right? And then they want you to single crochet, or no, slip stitch into the same stitch so that it is exactly a mirror image of the other side. And there is your very simple heart. You can end right there. See how this hole got wide? You can cinch it back up again, and then you can anchor it if you want to. We can do that at the end. But so you can finish right there if you want to, and you just have a very simple solid colored heart. Or what I did was at the end here, I added, yeah, when I did my slip stitch, I changed color. Change color right there, pull this through. And so you've got your heart, but you're ready to do a border around it. This is not in there. This is me adding stuff. So bear with me, because I I add stuff all the time and I never write it down. So I may have to kind of fake it, but you should just be able to single crochet all the way around. Now the first thing is you got one for the first join. These are chain stitches and there's 2 of them. So I'm going to do 2 single crochets in that. You can do them in the chain if you want to. I just do them in the space that the chain created. And then you go into the top of the first double crochet and basically do your little single crochets all the way around until you get to the point, and then we're going to do something kind of crazy at the point. Not too crazy. You can handle it. Do you feel so accomplished right now? Like these are actually quite easy, but when you are if you're a brand new crocheter and you're looking at this and you haven't done any of the practice squares that we've done, you're probably going, what? I don't know. I can't do all that. And if you go through and you do the practice squares from the beginning, by the time you get to this point, this will be fine. It'll be like, oh, I can totally handle this. Okay, so right here, we have, this is the tip of the heart, right? So we have a stitch here and a stitch here. We don't want to just go like 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet here because it'll round it. So we actually want there to be a point there. So I'm going to do a single crochet here, and then I'm going to chain 1. So that point goes there. And then I'm going to chain another one for the other side. And then we're going to go into the other single crochet on the other side. So that should create this little point on the end, like a little turn, and then go all the way back up the other side. Yeah, so my point is if this is the first video you're watching and you're just like, I don't think I can handle this, I promise you can handle it. You just have, if you really want to do it, just go back to the beginning and watch us do even just a single crochet. After you have mastered the single crochet, you can actually ask, I know Krissa and Mel are both learning, like brand new learners, and they're just mastering the single crochet. And like once you get that down, everything else, like it's almost like the whole world of possibilities open up, and suddenly you're like, oh, a double crochet doesn't seem that scary. Oh, I can do front and back loops. Oh, I can do, it's like, and you learn it in pieces. And then when you get here where you're doing 4 or 5 different stitches into one tiny applique, it doesn't seem so scary. But at the beginning, it obviously would, because it's all new. Okay, so we're down to that chain. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do it in the chain space. 1, 2. If that doesn't give it enough connection to the heart for you, you can do it a different way if you want to. And then I'm just gonna finish it off with doing a slip stitch into the center of the heart, just like that one. And then we'll pull it up. I think I'm gonna make these into cute little coasters to match something to have. Coasters are always cute and fun way to practice. So this one I won't take apart because I'm actually gonna use it. So then you just weave in your ends, and there you go. There is your heart. Good job. Okay, are we gonna do something else? Should we do this one, TJ? I know you want to. I think we have time. Okay, TJ, you know what? And anybody else who wants to make this flower, I'm not gonna do a video of this because the tutorial that I learned it off of is a video. So instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to get there. I will link it in the description of this video. But the weird thing about it is it has this beautiful picture at the front. You're like, oh, and then you start looking through here and you're like, where is it? I can't find it. Those are cute. I have to go find those. But you're like, why can't I find this thing? It's because they always hide it, the connection to it, like in with all the ads. So I'm sure these people are making money off of having all these advertisements on their page, but sometimes it makes things really difficult. So easy flower, that's what you're trying to get to. Just tap on that and it'll take you to the video. And then she actually does a really good job of teaching how to do it. So no reason for me to do, and hers has like music, one thing I don't have. So there's no reason for me to teach it again. I'll just link it there and you can watch her do it. But it is really easy. And I think you're right. I think it does look prettier if it's just in solid colors. So there we go. Did we cover everything you guys want to cover? I think I'm gonna do this one on a whole separate video because he's complicated, but he's amazing. Isn't it amazing? So pretty. But don't give up, like don't be afraid of it. If you can do all of these stitches we just did on here, you can do this. It's just a matter of putting all those stitches together, and it makes it seem daunting, but it's actually really not that hard. Just be patient. It is gonna, one of these will take like an hour to do. So anyway, so that's where we are. I hope that I taught you guys everything you needed. And you're excited to get on to the next phase of your blanket. I will see you all soon. Bye.